versus Wade, the Supreme Court case that legalized abortion in the United States on January 22nd, 1973.
On the 48th anniversary of this landmark decision, I want to talk today about abortion. But before I do, I want to say three things really quickly. Number one, despite what you may believe, this video is not intended to be political. I don't care if you voted for Joe, Donald, or Kanye. Doesn't matter to me. Number two, this video is not intended to heap judgment, shame, or condemnation on people who support abortion or women who have undergone abortion. Number three, I recognize that this is a sensitive and controversial issue. So I'm not being aggressive. I'm not coming at anyone. I'm simply stating in a civil and a respectful way my beliefs and my convictions on this topic. So I want to start with a story. In August of 2019, I made my first trip to New York. But not just New York City, Manhattan. And since I knew I would only be there for a short period of time, I hustled like crazy to take in all the sights and the sounds of the Big Apple. Times Square, Broadway, Grand Central Station, Rockefeller Center, Central Park. I rode a subway for the first time to Lower Manhattan. I took the Staten Island Ferry to see the Statue of Liberty. I went to the observation deck of One World Trade Center. It was so much fun. But my final stop was at the 9/11 Memorial. You know, September 11th is one of the greatest and most significant events that's happened in my lifetime. So I not only wanted to go and visit the memorial and see it, but I wanted to pay honor and tribute to the victims who lost their lives on that day. You know, visiting the memorial, I was a mixed bag of emotions. The memorial itself is actually really beautiful. The design is unreal. The twin fountains located where the Twin Towers once stood are very tranquil and very serene. The mood is so peaceful, you can almost forget that you're visiting a memorial site. That is until you begin to read all the names that are inscribed in the bronze parapets surrounding the two fountains. As I walked around both fountains, reading literally every single name, it was almost too much to take in. These letters etched in stone pay tribute to real people, once living and breathing people whose lives were taken away in an instant. But then I saw something that caught my eye and just really stood out to me. On the 37th panel of the North Fountain, I read these words: Deanna Lynn Galante and her unborn child. Deanna Galante, a 32-year-old woman working on the North Tower's 106th floor, was pregnant. And in the aftermath of 9/11, not only was Miss Galante considered a victim, but so was her baby. This unborn child was considered a human being. Now again, I'm not trying to be political. I'm just stating my case, so please, just hear me out. See, supporters of abortion say that children in the womb are not the same as children who have been born. The children in the womb are not fully human. If children in the womb are not yet viable, living human beings, why was Miss Galante's child considered a victim of the 9/11 attacks who lost its life? But if in fact children in the womb are living, viable human beings, why would we not extend the same rights and protections to them that we extend to every other human being? The point I'm trying to make is this: if a life is a life, the way that life is taken shouldn't matter. Why would we call it murder if it happens in a terrorist attack, but then call it a choice if it happens in a clinic? What I'm saying is we're not being intellectually honest if in one set of circumstances we say that's a life, but then in a different set of circumstances we say no, it's not a life. See, circumstances should not determine the value of a life, because God determines the value of a life. See, many centuries ago, God told the prophet Jeremiah, "Before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you, and I set you apart as a prophet to the nations." Every life in the womb is both known by God and made by God for a purpose. And this is the reason why I am pro-life. But it's not the only reason. The second reason is much more personal. You see, I am a survivor. I was an unplanned pregnancy. My mother was 17 years old and unmarried and probably not ready to bring a child into the world. And a lot of people around her told her that she should terminate her pregnancy and abort me, including the first doctor she went to. I'm so glad my mom went and found a different doctor. I'm so glad she didn't listen to the people that said I was just fetal tissue or a clump of cells. I'm so thankful that my mom gave me life. So yeah, this issue for me is deeply personal because I very easily could have been aborted. So let me close by saying this. If you are a woman who has undergone abortion, or if you're a man who maybe encouraged your girlfriend or your wife to have an abortion, my purpose in making this video is not to guilt you or to shame you or to heap judgment or condemnation upon you. Not at all. I suspect many of you are probably already feeling plenty of that. The last thing I want to do is add to it. But I do want to tell you the good news that through Jesus Christ, you can be forgiven, that God knows you and He loves you. And if you will confess and cry out to Him and ask for His forgiveness, you can receive it. And you can be healed, you can find peace, and you can move forward in your life. You know, as a pastor, I've talked to both men and women who've been connected to this issue of abortion, and they can tell you how God has healed their hurts and brought peace into their lives. And He wants to do that for you. If you would like to reach out to us, I would encourage you, send us an email and let us know how we can pray with you or talk with you or maybe give you resources that can help you move forward. But I just want to say thank you for taking time to watch this. And if you think this would be helpful for others to hear, can I ask you to please share this on your page? The Lord bless you guys.